So, there's this thing women do where they don't want you, but they also don't want you with someone else. Funny thing is, the whole thing often takes a lot of forms. Take for example, when you're in the talking stage with a girl who is talking to you and like 51 others, or still open to entertaining their exes.
Wait a minute, what? You did what?
Oh, now it matters? Now it matters?
Wait a minute, who was it? Who did you hook up with?
I mean, why does it matter? You know, I'm just some guy you were going to call at his birthday. I mean,
No,
what difference does it make?
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Nina, please?
This is Nina.
Oh, good. You're safe. Nina, I've been worried about you.
Okay, who is this?
Oh, this is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. This is Brooke.
Hey, Nina.
And Jose is the guy that you just heard laugh.
Okay, why am I talking to a bunch of people?
Because we do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. That's where if you go out on a date with somebody and then end up not calling them after, they email us to see if we can get you on the phone and find out what happened. And you recently met up with one of our listeners, but now you're not talking to him.
Okay, this is weird.
Yes.
I know. I figured it would be. But his name is Sean.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, he seems like a really cool guy.
What?
Wait, hold on, Nina. Why are you being so nonchalant about this whole thing? Because he said that you ditched him.
I ditched him?
Yeah, that's what he says.
He said you went to the bathroom and, didn't come back, ditched him.
Oh my God. I guess I did. Oh God.
I'm so confused.
I can't believe I did that. That was so mean.
Yeah.
How are you not? I am so confused by you right now, Nina.
Me too.
Yeah,
I know.
How'd you ditch him on accident? And then why haven't you responded to his phone calls or anything?
To be honest, when I went to the bathroom, I accidentally met up with my ex, and
Okay.
you know, obviously we're no longer together, but we just have this chemistry, and whenever we see each other, we just hook up. We can't seem to keep our hands off each other, and I just, you know.
When you went to the bathroom, you ran into your ex and went home with him?
Yeah, we just, you know. But you know how it is when there's passion for someone. I honestly forgot about Sean, and I was just in the moment, and we took off, you know, and I ended up spending the rest of the night with him. I'm really sorry. I feel terrible.
But how are you just now realizing that you ditched Sean in this whole thing?
I know. It was we just had so much fun that night. I guess I just completely forgot about Sean.
Okay. Why not call him back or text him back after he tried to get a hold of you?
I felt a little weird afterward, you know. I didn't want to tell him. I didn't want to lie to him. I just kind of figured it was a quick situation and he would go away. So I just kind of left it at that.
I think that's pretty understandable.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
The only problem is, Nina, he hasn't gone away because he's actually on the other line listening to this conversation and wants to talk to you.
Are you serious right now? Is this really real life?
Are you serious? You had him waiting on the phone to talk to me this whole time? What's wrong with you guys? Oh, my God.
I'm sorry, but yeah, he was waiting this whole time to talk to you, and now I guess he knows the truth.
What kind of person does this? You actually forgot that we were in the middle of a date? How could you just forget that a human being even exists because you bump into some dude?
Oh, my God. Sean, first of all, I was drunk, and we, I literally had just met you, what was it, 45 minutes? So you're a nice guy, but...
So after you sobered up, you saw my text, you saw that you missed calls, no, nothing in you. There was no remorse, no, oh, man, that's pretty messed up, nothing. No.
I mean, I feel bad about it, but I kind of figured it was such a quick hookup, and I thought I said goodbye to you before I left, so, I forgot. I was, like I said, I had a few drinks, so I wasn't thinking clearly.
We're on a first date, Nina. I mean, you just go hook up with your ex-boyfriend. You don't sound like you're all that broken up about it. I mean...
I do feel bad about it, but come on, we met on Tinder, dude. I mean, it's not like you're going to propose to me or anything, so I didn't think it was a big deal. I mean, I guess maybe at some point I would have reached. I just really didn't put a lot of thought into it.
At some point? What, were you going to wait till I had a birthday? I mean...
No, I figured I would call you at some point, but, I was just wrapped up with my ex, and I wasn't really putting a lot of focus on it,
Nina.
Oh, my God.
I know. I feel so bad for you, Sean. Nina, that is really messed up that you just ditched somebody. He had a bad night to begin with. He had already been ditched by his friends.
Well, first of all, not everybody has an ex like my ex. Okay, this guy, well, I won't even get into that. And I mean, I do feel bad for Sean. I just never thought it was that deep, really.
You know what? Now I don't even feel as bad. I don't even feel as bad. Because you know what I did? So I wouldn't take a total loss for the night. I hooked up with one of her girlfriends.
No
way!
You did not tell us that before, Sean.
Wait a minute. What? You did what?
Oh, now it matters? Now it matters?
Wait a minute. Who was it? Who did you hook up with?
I mean, why does it matter? I'm just some guy you were going to call on his birthday. I mean,
no,
what difference does it make?
It doesn't even matter. I bet I know who it was anyway. It's she's a slut in the group. But now I'm just like, I'm really confused because if you did that, why are you going through all this trouble to contact me? Why don't you just go with her?
That's a good point.
Why are you contacting me?
I mean, I was a little more interested in you, but, I'm over that now, obviously.
Well, you're not. I mean, it's sounding all confusing to me because if you're interested in me, why are you hooking up with one of my friends?
Oh, let me
Dude, that's not cool.
Let me use your drunk excuse. Oh, I was drunk, so, it just kind of happened.
Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
All right. Well, on this note, Nina, I would like to ask you if you would like to go out with Sean again on a second date. We will pay for it.
That's a very generous offer, but I think I will respectfully decline.
Oh my God! I wanted you guys to go out again to see who you'd actually end up going home with that night.
Well, maybe you can pay for him to go out with. Okay.
I mean, good. I mean, I don't want to go with you again anyway. I mean, honestly, your girlfriend was a little hotter than you, and then there was a couple other ones that I might be more interested in that was in that party. Anyway, so yeah.
Okay. So now Sean's got all the girls.
This is why I should meet up with guys on Tinder. I am done with that whole situation. I mean, you have completely turned me off. And if I'm going to be meeting jerks like you, then nah, not even worth it.
Whoa.
That's fine. Yeah, stick to guys that dump you in real life.
Oh my God.
My gosh.
All right. Well, thank you very much, you guys. And at least, hey, Sean, look at it this way. Now that you're kind of an ex of hers, you went on a date. Next time you see her out with another dude, you might be able to hook up with her. It all works out.
And so this kind of woman expects you to be exclusive to her, even if she's not putting out. You'll stay exclusive to her without any guarantees, just hopes that something might come out of it. Remember, in the talking stage, she doesn't have any input, so ending things is not an issue because she doesn't have any losses.
Just like the way that traditional dating has faded out, it's now we have to make it unnormal for a guy to do the things that they did before.
What were the things women did before?
Exactly. I don't know. I mean,
you said you were desirous of traditional courtship, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you know what that looks like from a guy's end?
What do you mean?
Okay, so asking you out, taking initiative,
That's
planning the date, Wednesday, 7 p.m., I'm taking you here, picking you up. What were the women's traditional roles?
I don't even know. That's actually a hard question. I don't even know. I feel in the beginning stages of dating, there's not a lot a girl can do just besides really just show up.
What should a guy deliver?
Princess treatment.
Princess treatment.
The frequent dates, going out to eat, the romantic surprises, occasionally the flowers, making sure everything is good in the house, if I need anything.
If that's what's expected of the guy, what's expected of you?
Oh, I don't know. I never have to. I don't know.
So after she's made you wait, of course making you wait always means she believes she could do better, and the only time she'll settle for you is once she runs out of options.
If you take a female on a date, she order a steak, you cut it. They pre-cut it, then you cut it. Be a gentleman.
Anybody trying to date me, my bills or your bills, care whose car it is, you're trying to date me. You're trying to take a load off of me. So my car is your car for the bills. I don't simple. You're trying to date me, so my bills are your bills. Period.
You know how you go get your hair done, but before you get your hair done, you have to put down a deposit. And if you don't show up, you do not get that deposit back. So I done came up with an idea. We should start charging these men deposit to date us. We should start charging them a fee to date us. A 30-day trial. You pay $1,000 to date us. So, and if they don't do right by us within them 30 days, we keep the money. I'm just saying,
This is exactly why I say never accept a coffee date. Look at what this man said. Coffee date is the best way to vet women. When a man invites you out for a coffee on a first date, he's essentially asking you to prove yourself to him. Because he thinks he's the prize to be won over. He's giving you bare minimum. And let's be honest, for a woman to go on a date, you gotta do your makeup, do your hair, spend some time to look presentable, right? But men can just hop out of the shower and come out. And believe me, men know that. So tell me, if you are a woman with the slightest sense of dignity and self-worth, would you really waste so much of your time to go out on a $5 coffee date with someone?
Would you rather be the king's mistress or a peasant's wife? Go ahead.
King's mistress. King's mistress.
Yeah, king's mistress.
Same. King's mistress.
King's mistress.
If a man was working at McDonald's and he treated you perfectly the way you wanted him to,
I would not date him.
And that's what she said too. That I literally said,
you can't even get where are you to
everything.
Can I ask?
Where the hell? What is he supposed to give me?
Loves you.
What is he supposed to give me if he works at McDonald's?
He gives you the attention.
Go get a better education. And
Quite brazen. Yeah, well, looks like it. You're quite brazenly.
Looks doesn't define
when I'm speaking, it's
education,
best that your
though.
face stops moving. So when you're judging a man quite brazenly and quite actually disrespectfully because of the income that he earns, perhaps he doesn't have an intellectual aptitude, but he's a good person and he'd treat you really well. As somebody who is what is your standard that makes you so much better than him?
I have like much more than just as a job though.
What is your standard that makes you so much better than him?
So McDonald's is worse than being a.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm a sugar baby.
You have to people for money.
Yeah.
What makes you better than that man?
I'm not saying I'm better than him,
Okay,
but
well,
I'm
you just
saying
judged
I
him and you
wouldn't
said-
date somebody. I would wonder why he's working at McDonald's.
McDonald's
Did you-
actually has a
do you
really
think
high
that
minimum wage.
men-
No, they don't.
Do you think that most?
No, they don't. They pay like
changed
what?
it.
Like almost set 15.
Well, I
That's
think
not
that-
a lot of money.
So the way you feel about the guy who works at McDonald's,
Yeah.
that's the way men feel.
That's fine. Everybody
about
can have
what
their own
you
opinion.
do.
But
Fine.
their
Okay.
opinion would be
But
more
most-
logical than McDonald's.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's not a girl on this panel or on the planet today who couldn't walk outside and find a man who's going to be nice to her, loyal to her, and make her his queen. Women don't want that. So they'll sit there and go, no, I want Chris Brown. And then they'll go try to get Chris Brown. Then Chris Brown will cheat. And they'll be like, I can't believe he cheated. I am devastated. Well, what the fuck do you think's going to happen? If I go to the car garage, right, you have to make a decision what you truly want in your life. If you truly want to just find a man who's going to look after you and take care of you, you're going to be his queen, he's going to be loyal. You can find that all day, but you're going to have to settle to a degree where a lot of women perhaps are not prepared to do that. You see how women act. They'd rather chase a fraction of a real G's time than have 100% of the time of a fucking dude who they don't respect at that level. And it's kind of like going to a car dealership. You walk in there, if you want reliability, you can get a Nissan. But if you want to get a Ferrari, it comes with headaches. It's going to come with problems. So when girls say to me, "Oh, you know what, Andrew, you should be loyal to the," men like me don't have to be, and you know that. So why the fuck are you here trying to tell me what to do? Because you know I don't have to be loyal, and all the girls I'm fucking don't have to be loyal. So why are you sitting there pretending you expected me to be loyal when everyone knew from ground up day one it was never going to ever fucking happen?
Third of men, 33%, a little over a third, of men between the ages of 18 and 29 are not only single, but they're not actively looking for a partner. So I've got a question for the men. My comments are filled with guys saying we're done. We're not looking. We like our peace. I need some more talk from you guys. Tell me why you're done.
Is there anyone else out there in their 40s like me who feels kind of invisible? Like, I'm not as cute as I was in my 20s and 30s. I'm definitely not as fit as I was in my 20s and 30s. I don't have as much hair as I used to have. It's literally falling off like the top of my head.
You do become a little more invisible the older you get as a woman, unfortunately. I don't get asked out on a lot of dates. I never get asked out on dates. I don't know if it's being 55 in Los Angeles or if it's just a strange town.
What is the biggest confidence killer for women over 50? Men over 50. They never look at you anymore.
When I was 55, I felt like I was starting to fade. I felt like I was starting to go invisible. I felt dismissed. I felt ignored. I felt like I was washed up.
When I was 15, I started modeling, and it was a very hard thing to walk away from. Then around the age of 45, I started noticing that the way I was perceived was slightly different than what I had become used to. And then I would put photos of myself in bikinis. All of a sudden, I started getting the influx of, "Are you a little desperate there, Grandma? How about you cover up and spare us the look of your poor aging body?" I was sort of getting relinquished to the invisible women category.
Yeah, I need somebody to help me out right now. So, what's going on with the men? what's going on? Like, men come up to me all the time. Oh, you're beautiful. I love your hair. You smell good. This, that, whatever the case may be. And that's it. Where is the, hey, I would love to take you out. Hi, could I have your number? After the compliment. Like, what's really going on?
I'm 53. It has been several years. Where are all the good men? I'm tired of being alone. I want to share my life with someone. I am just freaking tired. I want to be in love. I want to share my life with someone. I want to feel the joys. I want to have my hands held. I want to be held. I want to kiss. I want to support. I want to make coffee with that person. I want my person. I want my person. Why is it so hard to find your person? It comes in waves. Most of the time, I'm okay. And then it comes and hits me like nobody's business. And honestly, I've been feeling like this a lot lately. It's love. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing it myself. I'm tired of being alone. I want to share my life with someone. I am just freaking tired. It's not about being lonely, so I just want somebody. No, I want to be in love. I want to share my life with someone. I want to feel the joys. I want to have my hands held. I want to be held. I want to kiss. I want to support. I want to make coffee with that person. I want my person. I want my person. Why is it so hard to find your person? I'm tired. You know, it's really hard when love is the one thing you can't force, you can't make happen. It has to just show up, but where is it? Where is it? I'm so ready, and I have a beautiful life waiting for the perfect man to show up. But where is he? You know, I'm 53. With you. I do a love manifestation, and I sit in the feeling. I close my eyes and I feel the love. I feel what it feels like to be with my person. I feel the spaciousness. I feel free. I feel like I can just relax and let go, and I will visualize their smile, and it's extraordinary. It is the most amazing feeling. So let's keep that hope together. Let's keep that knowing that our person is also smiling and wanting and desiring to manifest us both into love. It's all about manifesting. I do believe it. Love is out there. Love is out there. We just have to feel it. It's a feeling. It is a feeling. So we have to sit in the feeling, in the knowing. Yet, at worst case scenario, I have that moment, those beautiful moments that I've created in my mind. And even if he never comes, but I know he will. I'll have those moments. That's the thing. We can create those beautiful moments that we desire, because we're just desiring the feeling. It's the feeling. We can create those feelings. We can close our eyes. We can feel, we can act as if, and the body and the brain doesn't know the difference. So until our love arrives, may we have the most fabulous, fantastical love affair going on in here and in the heart.
The amount of attention that women get really depends on the age. So this graph that we see here is the number of contacts made from a random sample of 10,000 men towards women at a particular age, from 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, and so forth. And the bottom axis is the men's age. At 20 years old, women gets the most amount of messages, especially from guys around their age, which is at 20, and you do see a substantial amount of messages from men across the spectrum. By 25, she gets the most messages from men around her age as well, but of lesser magnitude than when she was 20. And by the time she is 30, the amount of messages she gets from men around her age is significantly less than when she was in her 20s. I would say it is about a third of when she was 25 and a fourth of when she was 20. It does seem like that they get around the same amount of messages from older men, but this could also be because typically older men, there's a lesser pool of them because they have already settled down. This is also to note that when you reach an older age, more likely or not, your peers are getting married or have already settled down, so your options of messages have reduced significantly. When she reaches 35, it reduced again by a third of what she had in her early 30s, and by the time she's 40, 45, and 50, it tapers off to be around the same amount.
Again, taking you back to the start, she makes you wait. Basically, she doesn't want you, but doesn't want you with anyone else. You realize from the exchange, when women want to get rid of you, they'll minimize everything about you, including what you've ever done, or they'll villainize you to make sense of doing you dirty. For the one on the audio, it's, we only met on Tinder, it was just a first date, until she finds out he hooked up with the friend, then she's pissed. The problem with this kind of behavior is, they carry it into marriage.
I've been with my husband for almost 20 years, but about 3 years ago, I was strongly considering divorce, and I want to talk to you about why. So I'm going to tell you the story of the day where I thought to myself, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. My husband and I had 4 kids. We both worked full time. We had been together for 16 years at this point. We've been together since high school. And on paper, I have an amazing husband. He is incredibly supportive. He's kind. He's loyal. He's a great dad. He's very hands-on. He's an active participant. He's always present. Like, on paper, what else could I ask for? But in reality, my experience is very similar to the experience of other women. I had this amazing husband who on paper was great, but I was incredibly frustrated and burnt out from our marriage and from motherhood. Because what happens to so many of us is that we marry these amazing men and we have amazing relationships, and then we have kids. And when we have kids, women tend to carry a disproportionate amount of the work in the home, the work of raising kids, and the mental load. And that is exactly what happened to us. About 3 months after my 4th baby was born, I remember looking at my husband and saying, I need more. I need you to do more. I am exhausted. I am in charge of everyone and everything in this house. Every night when we cook dinner, you ask me what to make. Every day when you drop off the kids at daycare, you ask me what they need in their backpacks. I am the project manager of this home and I need you to do more. And he looked at me and he said, okay, just tell me what to do. Right? Every woman has heard this. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I said, okay, something that would make my life easier is if in the mornings when I came downstairs with the 4 kids, because I do mornings by myself, the dishwasher was emptied, the dishes were put away, and the trash was taken out. That would make my life so much easier, because when I've got the 4 kids running around and the baby crying, I can't be looking for their favorite water bottle in the dishwasher. I just need to know it's clean. And he said, yeah, of course. What? Yeah, I'll do that. That's no problem. And so, of course, he does it. But then I have to remind him, and then he forgets, and then I have to remind him again. And there was this one morning where I woke up, and I went to put something in the trash, and it was overflowing. And I went to get my son's water bottle, and it was in the dishwasher with all the other clean dishes. And I felt so disrespected and unseen and unvalued at that point in time. And I remember texting my husband being like, what happened? Like, why didn't you do this? And he said, sorry, I was running late for work. And I remember thinking, oh my God, he doesn't see me. Because what he's done has now made me late for work. And he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about the impact on me. And he doesn't see how every single thing in our home happens because I ask him to do it, or because I do it myself, or because I planned and organized it. The diaper bag is full because I filled it, right? I put the wipes in there. And I felt so frustrated. And I remember thinking, what's the point? What's the point of doing this with someone else? I might as well just do it alone. And it's not because my husband didn't love me or he did anything to me, and it's not because I didn't love him, but because I felt so taken advantage of in our relationship. And this dynamic, it doesn't happen by accident, right? It's not like my husband did it to me, but we've been raised in this society that tells men and women who they should be in marriages and what it looks like to be a good mom versus a good dad. And we know the bar for moms is way up here and the bar for dads is way down here.
How many hours do you work, Eric?
60 hours a week.
60 hours a week. And how many hours do you work at home?
The same. More. All day, all night.
Really? And then you woke up and realised you were dreaming, you mean?
Well, my day doesn't end sometimes.
What do you mean your day don't end? It don't bloody begin. You spent time on the phone. You spent time just walking around the house, up and down. You spent time walking back and forth from a dining table with your kids. I don't know what you do with your hours. But I tell you one thing as a woman, if my husband's working, I do want to make sure that I'm doing what I should be doing at home. And if now I'm making you think about that, because this is the first time I've seen you become emotional, because it's the first time you've even had to sit and think about your actions. You're right.
So today is my 3-year wedding anniversary, and I can without a doubt say that this has been hands down the most depressing, miserable, horrible 3 years of my life. I have literally never been so depressed. I've never hated another person more than I hate the person that I married. While I run my ass off and I do everything for everybody in my life, like me, my kids, him, he goes to work and works enough. That's it. He works. Yeah, his job's hard. Yeah, his hours suck, but he works. That is all he does. I am in a different town because I had to take my kids to their football practice, and I asked him to watch our daughter, and you know what he did? He slept. He slept since he got home. What did I do? I did homework. I fed the kids. I took my son to speech. I went to the bank. I paid people to mow my yard because, you know, he can't mow the yard anymore. I, like I said, made sure homework got done. I got them ready for football. I took them to football. I tried taking care of myself and went on a walk, but, you know, when I started realizing I hadn't heard from him, I'm calling and calling and calling and begging for the bare minimum of him to watch our fucking daughter. Excuse my language. I'm just so upset. To watch our daughter, to cut up a watermelon, and to make dinner. I mean, that is absolutely bare minimum. That is not... That's not asking for much.
My husband left the night that I posted that original video.
Yes! Hell yeah! So with the commitment that is marriage, you dedicate your life to one person, and you promise to forsake all others, basically committing to one person, and promising you'll only get sex from that one place. You go to that one place and they're always full of excuses, ranging between headaches, being tired, and not being in the mood. And with that, they expect you to not look for options because they'll be offended, but instead, start grafting. Embark on this journey of trying to make her want you. Mostly, they'll withhold sex as a manipulation tool to try get you do something they want, kind of a reward system of some sorts.
My wife is using intercourse as a reward for completing chores. I believe my wife is experiencing a phenomenon known as the 7-year itch. We have been married for 7 years and have not encountered any serious issues until recently. Towards the end of 2023, she began to offer intercourse in exchange for small gestures, such as gifts and completing chores. Throughout our marriage, and since becoming an independent adult, I have consistently managed my share of the household responsibilities. Initially, she proposed extraordinary intercourse in return for me doing her share of the chores, which I initially enjoyed. However, this evolved into a system of rewards and punishments based on my actions, such as you did not do X, no intercourse for you, or good, you did this, and we can have intercourse. When I questioned her about this new behavior, she explained that she feels more emotionally connected and aroused when I put extra effort into the relationship. This explanation puzzled me, as I wondered what had changed overnight to prompt this shift. After a few months, I found myself increasingly turned off by this dynamic and began to refuse her advances. Recently, she approached me, suggesting I deserved a reward for completing the chores. I responded, I do not know where you got this idea, but it's becoming excessive. I am not Pavlov's dog to be manipulated with threats or punishments. We need to communicate openly if there's an issue, but this sudden change is absurd. Are you expecting me to beg for intimacy and comply with every demand? It feels as though you're disregarding my contributions to our household and the gestures I've made in the past. Please explain what's going on, because if we're altering every positive aspect of our relationship based on something you've seen elsewhere, our relationship will end prematurely. She left the room in tears and chose to sleep on the couch. Since then, she has been giving me the cold shoulder. It feels as though she has regressed to behaving like a child. I'm perplexed by this abrupt change and wonder, am I the butthole for not wanting to engage in intercourse under these conditions and for addressing her behavior?
Here's a problem. The moment you tie your obligations to the family and the union to anything, she's sure as hell finding options. But somehow, it's wrong when you do it. The The problem with putting women at the center of marriages and relationships